Chicago, the Windy City, a city of 9.5 million people, and the city I now call home. But how did I find myself here, 4,000 miles from my actual home? I'd always hoped to visit. Even as a child, I was intrigued by the city, not least because it was featured in The Breakfast Club, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Home Alone, and, well, every John Hughes film, really. It also then boasted the tallest building in the world, and I was 10, and I loved tall buildings, which was probably an early psychological sign that said, I'm a man, I'm a bloody man. And I remember vividly my best friend pulling out a photo taken by his brother atop the Sears Tower and thinking, I shall never be so lucky. But then, some 22 years later, I went one better. I snapped this picture of the Sears Tower, now Willis, from the superior vantage point of the Hancock Tower. Back then, on what was merely a weekend visit from Indianapolis, I had turned to my wife and said, You know what, wife? That's a pet name, she's not my servant, or so she thinks. You know what, wife? I think I could live here. I think I could absolutely live here for 6 months out of the year when it's not cold. And so, just as I imagine a character in Lord of the Rings might have said, probably Elrond, it came to pass. And this is the story so far. So how did I go the whole time, growing up, not knowing that Chicago has a beach, much less one that is, in fact, 15 minutes from my apartment? How lucky am I? Thank you, universe. However, today I've been slightly less lucky because I had a child throw sand, wet sand, at my face. That child has been dealt with severely, not by me. I'm not condoning child-based violence. But on this case, it was justified. And this weather, I've been told by Douglas, who is this guy I met at one of the stations I got off, that this weather persists all year. Mind you, Douglas was trying to get change from me at the time, so not sure how much I believe him. My house, oh shit, there's a bird nearly attacked me. When I'm not cycling to work, I often find myself riding one of these, surrounded by a dozen strangers, all with the same degree of silence emanating from their mouths. It's like a library on the morning commute, except this library moves at 40 miles per hour and nobody, except that girl in the glasses over there, has any books. She's reading Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, because everybody is right now, and next to her is a man in his early 20s wearing a Cubs baseball cap. He's holding onto the railing extra tightly so as to not lose his balance and fall like an idiot into the girl with the book. We're all doing that, because that's riding Chicago's L train in a nutshell. Looks like we made our way inside a big building. Opulent building. Sometimes you'll do that. You'll just be walking around, you'll poke your head in somewhere and it'll be richer than your painting skills. Weird comparison. What are we doing?
They told us to go to the
15th floor.
Yep.
Saying that to the man who's scared of heights. The nighttime Chicago streets were among some of the most dazzling, awe-inspiring and gut-wrenchingly terrifying views I'd ever witnessed. So I did what any self-respecting idiot would do in this situation. I knocked back several shots of Jameson's and had a blast. Here I am, top floor of some building here in downtown Chicago, and there's music blasting out. I've got free alcohol, and I don't know how I got in, but I did. So not going to complain. My wife knows people in high places, is what I'm going to imagine. But look at this, we have fires that people are dunking their marshmallows into. So it's basically what I do every Saturday night. It's Thursday night, but shh. Got money coming out of my bank account as we speak. It's bad. Oh. For all the hustle and bustle of the major city, as well as the tall buildings, most of us actually live out here in the suburbs or the neighborhoods. In fact, because of that, it's a little less like iRobot and more like American Beauty. I meant in terms of the setting, and there's no creepy cameramen around here filming people. Except me. Only just under a quarter of Chicago's population lives in the downtown area, sometimes defined as within a 2-mile radius of the City Hall on LaSalle Street. These people have more money than me, which is why my wife and I live in a 250 square foot flat apartment a good 5 miles outside of that radius. Still, whichever way you slice it, Chicago is known for pizza, hence the graphic. Whichever way you slice it, Chicago is the 3rd most populous city in the nation and the 9th most visited. It's perhaps no wonder then that occasionally you might find yourself lost in the crowd.
One of the great things about living in a major city is you often end up in places you don't expect on the streets, like a secret party. That's where I am right now. Probably about 200 of us packed into an alleyway. Not really certain entirely what the meaning behind all this is. I just know I get free drink out of it. So that's mainly why I'm here. So I suppose one of the hardest things about one of these types of shindigs is getting out of them. We're trying to do that, but the wife's picking up free stuff, so that never helps, does it? Just thrust it in my face.
Soon the winter will draw in. Soon I'll discover firsthand just what a callous, cold-hearted, lying sack of Douglas, the man who asked me for change, really is. Soon I'll be shoveling my way to work on the same sidewalk as that guy in the Cubs baseball cap now wearing a Cubs woolly hat, and that girl with the Harry Potter book now carrying a broomstick. Soon I'll be attending the famed Chris Kindle market with my wife who loves Christmas, winter weather, and sparkly snow globes. Soon I'll look more like this than this. But until then, I will take solace in the autumn and hold on to my former proclamation that I, Lawrence Brown, could absolutely live here 6 months out of the year.
Some action shots.